Hey, it's Penny. I'm back, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful braided pumpkin using the Lion Brand yarn 24/7 cotton. And this is a category 4 and medium weight yarn. You'll need 2 of these skein. This is in the color amber. You'll also need a hook. I have here E 3.50 millimeter hook, a scissor, a yarn needle, and about 1 to 2 inch of a tree branch I got from my backyard, and then also some poly fiber fill for your pumpkin. Make sure to also get a hot glue gun. So to begin here, we'll start with a slip knot. Insert my hook into the strand here, and we're going to begin with chain 2, and this will start our first row. So for our first row, we will use the half double crochet chainless foundation stitch. So you'll wrap your yarn over and insert your hook into 1 or 2 of the loops here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook into the top 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3, and we'll repeat the previous stitch. So that's yarn over, insert your hook into the top 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And we'll continue making this all the way to 40 stitches. I'm here at my 40th stitch. Just going to do my last half double crochet chainless foundation stitch here. And then you want to turn your work I'm going to chain 1 and make a front post half double crochet stitch, inserting under the first stitch here under 2 loops, and then inserting it from the back under 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and that is your first half double crochet stitch. And we'll continue doing the same stitch here all the way to the end of this row. And this stitch here, I'm calling it the front post half double crochet top 2 loops only. Here I'm just finishing up my last half double crochet front post, and in the very last stitch I'm going to just make a half double crochet under the 2 loops. Then I'm going to turn my work, and for row 3 I'm going to chain 2. And this is where I'm going to start making my special stitches. So you'll wrap your yarn once and insert your hook into the very first stitch and make a half double crochet that's not completed. So you'll yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over twice, and then here make a treble crochet, skipping that very first one and into the second stitch. Yarn over and pull through, and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now half double crochet into the stitch that was just skipped, and make sure to go behind the treble crochet so that way the front of the project you'll see that slanted side of the V. And then from here we're making the special stitch again. So yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch that had the treble crochet made into, and make a half double crochet together with a treble crochet into that second stitch. So we're skipping 1 and into the second, yarn over, pull through, and complete your treble crochet here. So this special stitch is called the partial braid V-stitch 1. And that includes a half double crochet and a treble crochet 2 together, in the indicated stitch, including a half double crochet back into the stitch that was just skipped. Then we'll continue making this special stitch partial braid V-stitch 1 for 17 more times to the end of this row. And once this row is completed, there should be 19 of those slanted partial V's. Now I am here at the end of this row and I'm making my last special stitch of the partial braid V-stitch 1, and I should end this stitch with a half double crochet in the skipped stitch. For the end here, you'll want to make a half double crochet into the stitch that had the treble crochet, and there should be one more stitch left, and that you should make a half double crochet in this one as well. When you count all the stitches up, there should be a total of 40 stitches across. Turn your work, and for row 3, chain 2, we'll make a half double crochet into the very first stitch, and then after that we are starting our partial braid V-stitch 2, where we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch, only partially, so yarn over and pull through under 2. Then we'll make a back post treble crochet, so wrap your yarn twice around the hook and insert the hook into the treble crochet from this side, and then insert the hook back through to the back, making sure to go behind the treble crochet but just next to the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And to complete this special stitch, we'll make a half double crochet into the stitch that was just skipped. So this one was the half double crochet from the beginning of the special stitch, and this is the one we skipped. So we'll make a half double crochet into that stitch, and then from here we'll half double crochet into the next stitch, which is this bigger gap one, only partially, and then treble crochet back post into the treble crochet from the row below. And once that is done, half double crochet into the stitch that was just skipped. So we'll continue making this special stitch, the partial braid V-stitch 2, all the way across this row. And if you are to count, there should be a total of 19 slanted treble crochet along this row that will help create the V kind of shape when you turn the pumpkin sitting upright. Here I'm finally at the end of the row, and I'm finishing up, so making half double crochet into the stitch that was just skipped, and there should be one last stitch here, so we're just going to make a half double crochet into the very last stitch, and then for row 5 we're going to chain 1, half double crochet into the next stitch, and half double crochet across all the stitches to the end of this row. So for this row here, if you want to make a clean look, you'll want to go under 3 loops in that stitch where the treble crochet is attached to instead of 2. So we'll keep making half double crochet into each stitch, and then half double crochet under 3 loops where the treble crochets stitches are. Here we're making my last half double crochet at the end of this row, and then I'm going to turn my work, and then for row 6 I'm going to chain 1, make a front post half double crochet into each of the stitches all the way to the end. So that's yarn over and insert your hook into the very first stitch, and then insert the hook back into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through. So we'll make that all the way to the end, and you should only have 39 of those stitches because at the end you'll do a half double crochet into the very last stitch. So here I'm at the end of my project, and I am at row 56, and this very last row consists of the partial braid V-stitch 2, which is the half double crochet together with the back post treble crochet 2 together in the indicated stitch, including coming back to do a half double crochet in the skip stitch. So this is our panel that we are going to create the pumpkin out of. So I am turning the project outside in, and as you can see here, this is the very beginning of the row, and that's the end of the row. Now I'm going to seam the short side, and I'm going to insert my hook on the opposite side of the working yarn and pull the yarn through. I'm going to chain 1 and then slip stitch into each stitches, making sure to align both of the edges together all the way to the end. And to also make this row look neat and nice as the other half double crochet rows, you also want to make sure that you go under 3 loops in that special stitch row where the treble crochet is at, just to eliminate that bump so that you have a nice clean look when you turn the project back out. Here I'm at the end of seaming the sides together here, and it looks like I actually have an extra stitch, and I think that's because I skipped that first stitch on the last row in the special stitch row, so I must have had that extra one. Anyways, you'll want to leave a long strand about 2 feet and cut off the yarn over and pull the yarn through to secure that seaming area. And then turn your project here to the bottom. So this is the bottom of the pumpkin. I'm just going to turn in the project so that the right side is out. And as you can see, the V's are upside down. So this is the bottom of the pumpkin. And this is row 1, row 2. So, and that's row 56. So I'm going to insert my hook into row 1 and attach my yarn with a slip knot here. So pull the yarn through and chain 1 and single crochet into that same stitch. In the video here I must have missed it, but you want to make a single crochet into that very first stitch and then single crochet into the next row, and then single crochet here in this special stitch in between here, and then we'll continue making single crochet into the next half double crochet row, and then single crochet in the next half double crochet row. So we'll continue making this all the way back to meet the beginning of this round. So 1 single crochet in each of the half double crochet, and then 1 single crochet in between the special stitches. So here I'm at the end. I just did a single crochet in the special stitch and I have none left. So this is the very beginning of the round. I'm just going to slip stitch here at that top there, chain 1, single crochet in this first stitch, skip 1 stitch here, single crochet in the next, skip 1, single crochet in the next, skip 1, and single crochet in the next. And so you'll keep doing that all the way to the end. And here I'm at the end, so I'm going to slip stitch into the very first stitch, and that is as much as I'm gonna do. So your yarn over and cut your yarn, kind of leave maybe like a foot or 2 here. I'm gonna attach my yarn needle and kind of weave my needle in and out each of the stitches here all the way to the end of where the working yarn began. And then here I'm going to cinch the yarn and pull it and make this hole tight and close the hole here. I like to make a lot of knots here, so I'm just going to double knot and secure that hole so that it's closed. So I am now going to just turn my pumpkin and get my poly fiber fill and fill it up until it's nice and round. And as you can see here, I keep closing it just to see how much I'm gonna need. But once you're satisfied with the roundness, then you can close the top of the pumpkin. So I'm going to attach my hook here into the center of that very first stitch in between the special stitches and yarn over and chain 1, then single crochet in that stitch, and then single crochet in the next half double crochet row, single crochet in the next half double crochet row, and then keep making single crochet into the stitch in between the special stitches and into each of the half double crochet rows all the way to the beginning. Here I'm at the beginning. I'm going to slip stitch to the very first stitch, yarn over and chain 1, and then single crochet in the same stitch, skip 1, single crochet in the next stitch, skip 1, single crochet in the next stitch, and keep doing that all the way to the end. Here I'm at the end. I'm going to slip stitch here, yarn over, and cut my yarn, so I'll leave a little bit of a tail here. So pull the yarn through, get my yarn needle, and begin to weave in that loose end in between each of the stitches all the way to the beginning again here, so we can cinch and close the top of the pumpkin. And like usual, I like to make a lot of knots just to make sure that we close everything nicely and things doesn't come undone. Here I keep the needle attached and then insert the needle at the top of the pumpkin and pull it through to the bottom of the pumpkin to make the shape of our pumpkin. And then once I pull it through here, I'm going to just tie it and pull on the yarn here to make the shape of the pumpkin. And you can make however deep you want your pumpkin to be, just by cinching it tighter or looser depending on what you like. But once you find a shape that you like, then you'll want to tie it again here and make maybe a couple of knots just so that we can secure the shape that you like. Once you're happy, cut the loose ends as close as you can to the knots. And finally here, you can kind of shift the poly fiber inside of the pumpkin to however shape you want. So just massaging it like this. And as you can see here, there's the V stitch, and that should tell you that that's the right side up. Now get your tree branch. Here I have about maybe like a 1.5 inches of the tree branch just from the backyard, and then get my hot glue gun and put it at the top of the pumpkin and attach it there and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And here's my version of a braided pumpkin. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube here and watch my other videos. Thank you so much.